Now, Wofford on top, 7-3. Smelly barking out the signals. Gonna give it to Maddox. Maddox finding some daylight inside the 10, down to the 7. James Mitchell brings him down after a pickup of 8 yards.
Well, Maddox just hits the hole so quickly. You take a look at it here. It's a struggle for Smelly to get him the football. Nice blocking there on the right side of the line. He hits the line of scrimmage with a lot of authority. Gets there very quickly. Gamecocks deep in the red zone. They were 7 out of 9 to the red zone coming into today, but they struggled last week against Georgia. Had the fumble and the interception.
Well, Maddox had a career long of 5 yards on a carry coming into this game. He's already surpassed that a couple of times. He's got it here, and he's got daylight into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina.
First career touchdown, and the Gamecocks take the lead. That gets the fans back into it, and it's the Brian Maddox show here in the first half, running the football very well. But again, he's getting excellent blocking on that right side of the offensive line. He's going untouched, making a couple of moves, but he's not being hit at the line of scrimmage, and that's something the Gamecocks haven't seen much of this season, as their running backs have really had to work for anything so far. Maddox getting the job done here in the first half.
7-yard scamper to put 6 on the board. Suckup will make it 7 and 10 total as the Gamecocks recapture the lead. Another look at the first career touchdown for number 10, Brian Maddox. So the Terriers have it, first down and 10 from midfield. A little trickery here. Almost a big loss. It's still going to be a loss on the play. Mike Rucker could not find enough daylight. Eric Norwood in the backfield. A loss of 2 on the play.
And the quarterback, Ben Widmeyer, tries to throw a block back there. Widmeyer, tough kid. Not only does he run the football a lot, but take a look at it here. Here comes the reverse. He's trying to throw a block. Doesn't get much of it. Gamecocks able to string it out for a loss.
A loss of 3 on the play. It's 2nd and 13. 2 turnovers now on the Gamecocks, none for the Terriers. That's the kind of thing that Wofford needs to hang in this ball game. Widmeyer off to the right on that attempt. Emmanuel Cook and Captain Munnerlyn on the coverage.
This Gamecock defense so tough against the pass. Number 1 in the SEC. In fact, I believe number 1 nationally as well. Total defense, they're 2nd in the SEC, 9th nationally, but Wofford giving them some fits with the running game here this evening.
And they came in, the defense did, averaging just 205 yards allowed per game. Wofford has 105 so far here in the first half, and a 3rd and long here facing the Terriers. Marshall and Romero, the backs. That's Rucker in motion. And a play to the right side. And Emmanuel Cook puts a stop to that play. Marshall shoved out of bounds by Cook. A short pickup of 3. Well, Wofford's already gambled on 4th down. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, they gambled deep in their own end, sort of, and then did the quick kick, and I don't think they're going to have any of that this time. But again, the Gamecocks do a good job at that time stringing it out, and the defense posts a 3 and out, gives it back to their offense, who, despite the turnovers, has moved the ball well this evening.
And this is their actual punter, Craig Novak, a freshman out of Savannah. Captain Munnerlyn back to receive.
Keep an eye on Novak, also played quarterback in high school.
Wobbler coming in is Munnerlyn in traffic. And Fair catches it at the 22. A 28-yard punt. Gamecocks will have it 1st and 10. 2nd down and 15 from the 39-yard line. Again, 16 seconds on the clock. Smelly settles in the pocket, fires to Cook. That's his first grab. That's first down yardage at the 44-yard line of Wofford. Gamecocks hustling to the line of scrimmage.
Take a look at Jared Cook. They're such a big target. Again, the leading receiver for the Gamecocks. The clock's going to be running here. Smelly able to spike it and stop it with 8 seconds to go.
8 seconds left, so let's take a look at this and what the options are here, Brad. You do have 1 timeout left, so that allows you to throw over the middle of the field, still call timeout to set up one of the best legs in America, and Ryan Suckup.
Yeah, Suckup does have a career long of 55. No Grease here tonight to help or hinder him. Let's see what the Gamecocks draw up here.
This is a good spot for Jared Cook over the middle. If you can get it to him. Smelly looking downfield, throws to Cook, and it's broken up and intercepted. And that will be the final play of the half. The second interception thrown by Chris Smelly. And the third turnover of the half for the Gamecock offense.
Take a look at it again here. Smelly under pressure. Hit as he throws to the big man. It's in his hands. He had to come back for it a little bit. When you tip the ball high up in the air, that's the old tip drill. The defense is able to come up with it. Third turnover of the first half for South Carolina.
So we might have ourselves a more exciting second half than originally thought, as the Terriers again hanging in there tough as they did 2 years ago. 10-7 our score at the half. Second half action underway here from Williams-Brice Stadium. Terriers get the ball first. And Ryan Suckup with his first touchback of the night. The Terriers will have it at the 20-yard line. As we saw the statistics again, Wofford racking up some pretty good rushing yards, as they've been known to do. Again, they came in leading the nation with over 400 rushing yards per game, 136 total yards for the Terriers, 108 on the ground the first half. Gamecocks 209 yards with just 10 points to show for it. So I think a lot of people here in attendance wearing garnet and black, Brad, will be looking for a better performance in the second half.
Yes, Mike, they're a little bit antsy about the turnovers, of course, and looking for a 3 and out here. They'd like to see their offense run a few more plays. With Wofford running so many plays, it's limiting South Carolina's chances as well.
That play is strung out. It was Mike Rucker on the carry for the Terriers, a modest gain. Cliff Matthews in on another stop, the sophomore out of Cheraw, South Carolina. Started 9 games last year, mostly at linebacker, but they want him to become a rush in and the kind of guy that the SEC is full of, guys that can cause havoc off the end. And Cliff Matthews has the potential to become that kind of player. Second down, call it a long 6. Whitmire on the keeper, and he's tripped up. Submarining in there is Emmanuel Cook, who's 4th in the Southeastern Conference in tackles, coming in with 25. Pickup of 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd and short.
Emmanuel Cook does such a good job of supporting the run. The safety leads the team in tackles, led the team in tackles last year, was an all-SEC candidate, second-teamer. Just fills the run so well, and they need that in this option offense where everybody has an assignment.
3rd down and 3. Whitmire under center, and there's a little bit of that misdirection, and it's going to be another first down. Eric Norwood with another tackle for the Gamecocks, but a well-executed play by the Terriers.
A nice counter play. All the strength of the offense goes to the right, and there's the quick handoff to the left, and there's a wide open hole as the Gamecock defense over pursues. Nice play call by the Wofford Terriers.
And the Terriers moving the chains. Jonathan Williams in the game for the Gamecocks. Whitmire cocking back and firing deep. And it's caught at the 15-yard line. Caught by Justin Joslin, the junior, out of Johnson City, Tennessee. Stoney Woodson got turned around and beat on the play.
Yeah, take a look at here. Plenty of time. And Woodson, as you said, got turned around. Turns over the wrong shoulder. The receiver keeps running his route, and Woodson is burned deep. He burned a couple of times against Georgia that actually went for naught. It gives up the big play there, and the Terriers in business in the red zone once again.
52 yards. It's the second play of 50 yards or more. The other one, of course, the touchdown run by Whitmire. There's Romero, right side. Pretty good push by the Terriers line. And a solid pickup of 6.
Longest pass play of the season for the Terriers. You can see why they've been tearing things up in the Southern Conference. They're the second winningest program in the Southern Conference over the last 6 years. And you can see why they give so many of the teams that they play in their conference fits with this wide open offense with the running game. Doing a little more passing than we thought they would be doing tonight. And it's been a lot more effective than we thought it would be.
Whitmire on second down, working out of the gun. Fakes the handoff, trying to dance out of trouble, can't do it. Emmanuel Cook racks up another tackle.
Clifton Gathers, I think, was there first. Should have had him in the backfield. And Whitmire is so slippery, runs this offense so well. Again, he's the decision maker in this triple option offense, or the wing bone, whatever you want to call it. He does make such good decisions. Seems very comfortable in this offense. Did a good job to avoid the first tackle there.
Whitmire out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. 6 foot, 205-pound senior. He's made the long journey to Spartanburg. 3rd and 3. And a great ankle tackle there. Marshall was on the carry, but a nice job there by Nathan Pepper.
Nathan Pepper, the big man, 292 pounds, stuff in the middle, makes a nice play here. As you take a look at it, the Gamecocks had only been using a 3-man front for much of this drive. Gets good penetration there, stops them for a loss. Looks like the Terriers might go for 3. We'll see. They've been fooling around with their special teams. They went for it a couple of times on 4th down, had the boots kicked. Now it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down. Nope, they will go for the field goal here to try to tie it up.
Mugen missed a 37-yarder earlier. Wofford with a little trickery here. It's a 25-yard attempt. Snap is good, the hold is down, and the kick is true, and we're tied at 10. 10-10 our score with 11:03 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. And Brad, got to give the Wofford Terriers credit. They're not just getting points off turnovers here, they're mounting some successful drives.
Yeah, it looked like the Gamecock defense was going to hold them to a 3-and-out. All of a sudden they get the big pass play down the field. As you take a look at the scoring drive there, it's been a lot of long drives in this contest. Not a whole lot of points, but Wofford has moved the ball effectively and obviously very much in the ballgame.
You know, people talk about that Vanderbilt loss and the defense in that game. Well, the defense is working a short field almost the entire game. That's not been the case for Wofford tonight. Here's the return by Culver. He's had a good year thus far returning kickoffs. And he takes that one out to about the 28-yard line.
Mike, there's been 4 drives for more than 70 yards so far tonight. Two for each team.
Chris Culver, 7 returns, an average of 24.7, that long of 50. And of course, with every game continues the hope that someday a Gamecock will in fact return a kickoff for a touchdown. It hasn't happened since Matthew Thomas in 2002 against Virginia. There's Mo Brown. Nice pickup of 7 yards on the play. Brown coming off a career day against Georgia, in which he had 7 grabs, 130 yards, caught his first career touchdown, and very encouraging to see. They hope that Mo Brown can continue to stretch the field, and that'll only help Kenny McKinley when he eventually comes back.
And that's the play the Gamecocks run a lot early in the first half, early in the second half as well, as screens to their quick receivers. Usually it's been Deion LeCorn. They've done it a couple of times tonight to Mo Brown.
LeCorn, the man in motion across the formation there. Smelly, handoff, right side, and to about the 40-yard line on the play is Mike Davis.
It's a pretty good block there as Gamecocks pull a lineman from the left side to the right. I believe it may have been Jamon Meredith, the left guard, able to pull and free up the hole, and that gives Davis all he needs for the first down. Take a look at it here. There's the pull, seals the inside there, and Davis able to plow ahead for that extra yard.
Gamecocks actually have the advantage in first downs, 19-9. But the big plays, most of them coming from Wofford tonight. Davis staying in the game, the lone back, gets it again. Trying to run behind the right side of that line. Seth Goldwire in on another tackle. Pickup of about 3, call it 2nd and 7.
The Gamecocks have had pretty good balance so far here tonight. Again, it's been the turnovers at inopportune times that have thwarted some pretty good drives. Gamecock fans were feeling pretty good despite the loss last week against Georgia, as the Gamecocks were able to move the ball very effectively in the 4th quarter. But again, it was the turnovers.
You know, this offense has really struggled this year. 10th in the SEC, 87th in the nation. And the running offense has been poor, but not on this play. Mike Davis, for element of surprise, going to get past the 40 of the Terriers. Gain of 17 yards. You know, just on that note, this is not, you can't lump every 1AA team in the same group, Brad. I think we have to recognize that Wofford has been winning and playing for Southern Conference championships for a while. They're very much involved in the playoff race every year in 1AA. A few years ago, Mike Ayers had him in the national semifinals, so don't mistake this for just any 1AA team.
Right, they were ranked as high as number 6 in the nation last year, the second winningest program in the Southern Conference over the last 6 years.
Maddox finding a whole lot of room on the left side of the line. Gamecock offensive line certainly winning the battle thus far tonight. The ground game has been solid. A lot of holes tonight for the Gamecock running backs, and we've seen plenty from Davis to Maddox to Eric Baker. Maddox again, first down, barrels ahead to the 26, a gain of 9, make it 6.
I've been very impressed with the way Brian Maddox is running the football tonight. Again, he's hitting the holes very hard for the Gamecocks. We're used to seeing that out of Mike Davis, but Maddox has a little extra hitch in his giddy up here as he's able to get to the line and really not being hit for the first time until he's at least 2 or 3 yards downfield.
Maddox back there again, number 10. On first down, Smelly feeds him. Maddox burrows his way for a couple.
Obviously, the Gamecocks are going to have to continue to establish the run if they're going to be successful in the Southeastern Conference, something they were unable to do last weekend against the University of Georgia, as a lot of their running plays were getting stopped before they even got to the line of scrimmage. Again, the Gamecocks have mixed it up pretty nice so far here tonight against the Terriers, but have only been to the end zone once.
Second down along 7. Jason Barnes in the game at receiver. So too is Freddie Brown. Smelly out of the gun. Smelly looking right side and throws a one-hopper intended for Freddie Brown.
And may have gotten that piece of it at the line of scrimmage. It looked like a weak throw, and I think that's what some of the fans were hem-hawing about. Had his man open, unable to deliver. The Gamecocks now facing a third down, would like to punch it in the end zone. Again, they've had their struggles once they get close tonight and going back to last week.
Well, that sets up a third down and 7 now. Smelly throws it left side, complete. And that should be first down yardage for Jared Cook on the forward progress. They will mark it at the 14, a pickup of 9.
That's a good throw to Jared Cook by Chris Smelly. Put a little something on it to his big man. You take a look at it here. The Terriers come on a stunt up the middle. Little sidestep there and delivers it right where it needs to be. Pretty good coverage. Not much else you could do there. And Cook, the big man, 6'5", 242 pounds, able to pick up the first down.
And that'll be now the 10th play of this drive. 10th play of this drive coming up. Gamecocks have racked up 22 first downs. Time to start cashing in on some more points. Smelly to Maddox. Goes nowhere on that one.
One of the few times they've been stopped in the backfield tonight. The Terriers, for the most part tonight, have used that 3-4 alignment, 3 down linemen. They have been bringing pressure from different spots, whether it's the linebackers or on the corners and running some stunts, trying to confuse the Gamecocks up front. They get a good surge up here from the linebackers, and when the defensive lineman just comes off his block, makes the easy tackle.
Mike Davis, the lone back. 3 wide set. Smelly. Little dump pass, but Wofford is right there all over it. And Davis is devoured.
May have run that play one too many times, as Davis has caught about 5 or 6 passes so far tonight. He's had good yardage on most of them, but the Terriers able to sniff that out as maybe they run that play one too many times. They ran it earlier on this drive, went for big yards.
Alex Goltry on that tackle. He's a backup defensive end, a freshman, 6'1", 212 pounds. But when you're in the right spot, you wrap up. And that was a little bit of a gift for him. Third down and 17. The marker's at the 4. Carolina needs a big player right now. Smelly looks over the middle, throws end zone. That's up for grabs and nowhere near Mo Brown. And right now, Chris Smelly and the offense hearing it from the Gamecock fans.
And Mike, the fans not happy because they saw Joe Hills, the redshirt freshman, wide open in the corner of the end zone at the top of the screen. Don't know. He obviously wasn't the intended receiver, but possibly ran a wrong route, or maybe he and Smelly weren't on the same page. But he had Joe Hills wide open in the corner.
So here's Suckup, hit a 22-yarder earlier. It's a chip shot for him. And this is pretty much a chip shot for Ryan Suckup as well, 39 yards. The snap, the hold, and the kick is good. Ryan Suckup, money in the bank. Gamecocks go up by 3. 5:37 remaining. Gamecocks leading at 13-10. That man, Steve Spurrier. Not very often you see Steve on one knee, but can't be very pleased with the offensive performance thus far. Still scratching his head, trying to figure out what it's going to take for this unit to get it going. 7 points a week ago. Struggled offensively against Vanderbilt 2 weeks ago. And here against Wofford, 13 points. And we're more than midway through the third quarter of play.
And Mike, the only difference, the Gamecocks moving the football tonight, but that's only between the 20s. Not getting it done in the red zone, not finishing drives.
That last scoring drive, again, another high play drive, 13 plays, 51 yards, 5 minutes and 26 seconds. But Gamecocks have struggled in the red zone tonight. There's Whitmire dancing out of trouble and picking up a few yards. Give him 3 before Cliff Matthews hammers him to the carpet.
Well, the Gamecocks get good pressure up the middle from Lottie Ajaboy, the sophomore from Riverdale, but no containment, so Whitmire's able to make a positive play on it, picks up a few yards.
2nd and 7. Whitmire out of the gun. Gamecocks showing a 4-man rush. Here it comes. Whitmire somehow gets out of trouble and then finally does go down on the second wave. It's Jordan Lindsay. He'll get credit for the sack.
And again, it was Lottie Ajaboy provided the pressure up the middle once again. That's 2 consecutive plays. He's been able to beat his man. You take a look at it here. Gets past a couple of blockers. Doesn't wrap him up completely. Whitmire stays on his feet for a second. And then Lindsay there to finish him off.
That's Jordan Lindsay's first sack of the year. A loss of 7 on the play. That sets up a 3rd down and 14. Ordinarily, this is exactly where you want this kind of offense. Not known to get big plays through the air, but they've had a few tonight. Addison Williams in the game. Here's a play out to the left side. That's not going to get it done. Marvin Sapp in on the tackle. Devin Reed with the reception.
Well, they set up the receiver screen. The problem was they only had 1 blocker out there to help them out. There was 3 garnet jerseys to make the tackle.
So the punting unit back out onto the field.
Right now, the way this game is setting up, it's a little too familiar to what Gamecock fans saw here 2 years ago when the Terriers came to town. And the Gamecocks able to escape with the 7-point win.
Greg Novak on the punt. Freshman out of Savannah. This is not much of a punt. It's not going to carry far at all as Captain Munnerlyn with a fair catch at the Gamecock 49-yard line. Just a 27-yard punt. No return. Gamecocks will have it with 3:25. The thought was that we might see him for a couple of drives, particularly if the Gamecocks could get out to a comfortable lead. That obviously has not been the case, so Garcia has just been waiting patiently as Chris Smelly continues to lead the offense. And with a little dump pass complete to Baker. And Baker will be right near the marker. James Mitchell on the stop.
Gamecock running backs have been busy tonight catching balls out of the backfield. Mentioned Davis with a handful of catches. Now Baker getting into the act here. Had his first career catch last week against Georgia. Picks up some yards after the catch here. But the Terriers not really giving up anything deep with their pass defense. Gamecocks have had to settle for the short routes with the running backs and a few to the tight end.
You know, C.C. Whitlock injured earlier this week, so we haven't seen him, and obviously we haven't seen Garcia. But one of the 3 freshmen that we're really hoping to see do something here tonight, Eric Baker, has been as good as advertised. Baker getting drilled on that play. And he's going to be short. It'll be 3rd down and less than a yard.
And again, yeah, it's been 3-headed running backs for the Gamecocks here tonight with Eric Baker, Brian Maddox, and Mike Davis. Most of the year it had been Mike Davis. Taylor Rank actually started the first ball game, the junior. But tonight, some of the younger guys getting an opportunity have played pretty well. Just again, haven't been able to punch it into the end zone.
Eric Baker in the eyes. Smelly on the quarterback keeper on 3rd and short. He's got it. And the drive will continue.
One of the knocks on Chris Smelly was the He was not very good with his feet as far as the running game. He's actually been a little more mobile here tonight. The offensive line has given him a little bit more time. The big man up front, the Terriers not really bringing more than 4 people. Again, they play the 3-4, and they usually bring someone on a blitz, whether it's an outside linebacker on the stunt, occasionally the corner blitz.
Bo Brown and Dion LaCour, the 2 receivers to the left side. Jared Cook flexed out there, and that pass is almost picked off. It's knocked down by Mitch Clark, and if Mitch Clark hauls that in, this game gets real interesting in a hurry. Yeah,
that would be 252 pounds streaking down the middle of the field for 6 points for the Terriers. They had that play read. Again, the Gamecocks may be going to the well a little bit too often, looking for the dump-off passes to the running backs. They've done that a lot tonight. Had a couple of stops. We saw Mike Davis get stopped after catching the ball in the backfield on the last drive. Now it brings up 2nd and 10 here.
Smelly 18 of 27 right now. No touchdowns and 2 interceptions. There's a pass complete. Wide open downfield as Jared Cook went in doubt. Go to number 84. 16 yards on that pickup.
Well, he's such a big target, as we said. Stands 6'5". He's got that wide receiver speed. You can't match up him man-to-man with a linebacker. He's just going to beat you there. You take a look at it here. He splits the defenders in the zone. The safety late getting over there, and it's an easy pitch and catch to Jared Cook.
So Gamecocks are already in field goal range, up 3 here, but Carolina wants to get back in the end zone. Here's Baker. Baker, nice move, weaving up the middle, still on his feet, spins down to the 5-yard line.
And a big hole on the right side of the offensive line. Justin Sorensen, the right tackle, had a big block as well. And Eric Baker, the freshman, does a good job of reading the block instead of cutting it to the outside. If you take a look at it here, he sees the block, reads it well, cuts it back inside, and able to get the long gainer. The Gamecocks in business inside the 5.
18 yards for Baker. 1st and goal from the 4. Saunders in the game at tight end. Smelly going to give it to Baker. And he's popped and dropped at the 5. James Mitchell, the senior out of Oak Ridge, Tennessee, was there to meet him.
Really, for both defenses tonight, it's kind of been a bend but don't break philosophy. Each team has only given up the 1 touchdown. A couple of big plays for the Terriers, both by the quarterback Whitmire, the long throw and the long run. But for the most part, both defenses able to bend but don't break once the team gets inside the 20.
Baker stays in the game behind DeMarco in the eye. Baker plowing up the middle. Picks up about 3. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 2. Another hard hit by James Mitchell.
This is where the Gamecocks missed that big back like they had last year with Corey Boyd, the big man who could take it up the middle. With these smaller tailbacks they have this year with Baker and Maddox and Davis, you wonder, can you do it up the middle? Do you have to go over the top? Gamecocks were unsuccessful trying to go over the top last week.
Gamecocks with a 3 tight end set. Smelly. Baker leaps in the air and is tripped up. He is cut down and shy of the marker. Well, that was very similar to what we saw a week ago with Mike Davis.
Yeah, Mike Davis, unfortunately for the Gamecocks, fumbled in the end zone. That would have been a game-tying touchdown. Baker trying to leap over the top from about the 3-yard line and didn't really have a chance, didn't have enough air time, and that's going to end the 3rd quarter.
That playing in South Carolina, let's start playing some football.
All right, George. George is fired up. I think George wants to get in on this play, but they're not listening to George. It's a field goal attempt. Could be a fake here. This amounts to about an extra point for Ryan Suckup. And it's good. So 16-10 with 14:56 to go. Ryan Suckup about to kick it off for the Gamecocks. Suckup gets a hold of this one back to the end zone, but the Terriers going to take it out. 15-20 and stacked up at about the 23-yard line, where the Terriers will take over. Mike Rucker on the return. Well, Brad, I tell you what, there's a lot of people the least bit surprised at that call on 4th down and short. Coach Spurrier going with the field goal, a sign of respect for Wofford, or perhaps a little bit of lack of confidence in this offense right now?
Could be a little bit of both. The offense had the opportunity for the touchdown on the 2nd and 3rd down, couldn't get it done, so he said, hey, let's go ahead and get these automatic points.
Well, if the defense thought they were going to have a week off, no, sir. The defense is going to have to try to win another game for this team. 16-10 here in the fourth quarter of play. Widmeyer pitching it left side. Strung out nicely by the Gamecock defense there. That was Romero.
Strung out nicely, and again, Widmeyer waiting to the last second to make the pitch. It was almost a forward pass. The way he waited, the Gamecocks able to string it out. As you said, they're getting the right number of Garnet jerseys following that option, starting to make the plays. It's a little less confusing, I guess, the more times you see it. But the Terriers were giving the Gamecocks fits in the first half.
Wofford not even trying to run out the clock. They're getting as many plays in as they can. Here's Romero finding room on that left side. Clifton gathers with the tackle, 7-yard pickup. Ellis Johnson, first-year defensive coordinator. His defense has been outstanding this year, despite the fact not getting a whole lot of help from the offense. But it has not taken long for Ellis Johnson to make an impact on this program and on this defense. Here's a critical 3rd and 2. They give it to Romero. He's got plenty of daylight, still on his feet before being wrestled down at the 43-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup.
Romero does a nice job of finding the hole in this option. It's also the option for the tailback to decide if he's going to go around the end or look for something up the middle. You take a look at it here. Gets a good seal block off the linebacker. Able to find the hole and get the necessary yardage and more for the first down. Both these teams moving the sticks, and we're talking about the Gamecocks at 25 first down, only 16 points to show for it. Wofford moving the sticks as well.
First down, Terriers. Widmeyer keeps it himself and scampers for a couple before Clifton gathers another tackle. Give him 3 when it's all said and done. 2nd and 7. You know, Ben Widmeyer mentioned earlier from Idaho. You know, Idaho, if you go ahead and you MapQuest it, which I had some extra time last night, Brad, 2,445 miles away. That's about a 36-hour drive to go from Idaho to Spartanburg, which at today's gas prices, you could probably buy a Lear jet for the amount of money it's going to cost you in fuel to make that voyage. But just kind of poking around trying to find out how is it a guy from Idaho winds up at Wofford. Well, for one, his family had a connection to the faculty at Wofford, and also as a young man in high school, he was watching Wofford play against Delaware in the national semifinals back in 2003, and he realized they were running basically the same offense. Said, you know what, that's where I want to go to school. I know how to run that offense, and he runs it awfully well. Here's a big 3rd and 4. Pitch play to the left side. They've got the numbers, and they've got the first down. Well-executed play. Mike Rucker, who had a lead blocker, and it just seemed like before the Gamecock defense knew what hit them, they were already pitched out there about 5 yards to the left.
Yeah, it's not often you see the Gamecock defense get beat to the punch here, but they get some good seal blocks around the end. They beat him to the outside. You see Culver, he doesn't get beat by anybody and gets beat to the outside there. Another big first down for Wofford. Talking about recruiting for these Terriers, they have 13 players from South Carolina, but they recruit from everywhere. 18 from Georgia, 17 from North Carolina, players from 13 other states.
7 yards on that pickup. Looked like a possible false start, no penalty, and it's going to be first down yardage. Romero again.
I think they caught the Gamecocks in a shift as well in the defensive line. It looked like someone was backing up and trying to shift around. You take a look at it there, the Gamecocks caught on their heels there, and it's a big play for the Terriers, another first down.
We told you at the beginning, this offensive line is nothing to take lightly. They're big, they're strong, they've got a number of all Southern Conference players. They got one guy in Illig who NFL scouts are already looking at as a sophomore. And right now, they're creating some holes as Romero finding life charming, running straight up the gut. 8 more yards for Dane Romero, the senior.
And it's been a very quiet night for Jasper Brinkley, the all-everything middle linebacker for the Gamecocks. He's been very quiet from his middle linebacker position. As you mentioned, that offensive line with 4 out of 5 guys going over 300 pounds.
2nd down and 2. Widmeyer gives it to Romero again. He falls forward. Looks like he'll be a yard shy. Marvin Sapp with a nice ankle tackle.
As effectively as Wofford's been running the football, especially on this drive, you wonder if they're starting to lull the Gamecocks to sleep. They have had some big pass plays here. Do you go for the home run ball, or do you go for what's been working? They've shown they're not afraid to go for it on fourth down.
No. Hey, I mean, again, this is all gravy for them. They got a big Southern Conference matchup coming up against Georgia Southern next week. A win here would just be icing on the Sunday. Jeremy Marshall has first down yardage, another 3rd and short converted by the Terriers.
Check the spot there again. They may have to measure this. No, they are going to say first down. It was close. The Gamecocks need a stop here. Obviously, have to keep them out of the end zone, but give these Terriers credit. They're not wearing down in the fourth quarter. Thought that might be a case with the depth that South Carolina has on defense, but they look as fresh now as they did in the first half.
This is another long drive. This is the 11th play of this drive. Handoff, right side, Romero. Almost got out of an ankle tackle. If he did, it could have been real trouble. Jasper Brinkley brings him down. A solid gain of 7. But 2 years ago, these two teams met at this very stadium. And Wofford came in, again, a big underdog. And all the Terriers did was make things very interesting. Touchdown there. Wofford, the game on the line. And this was the play that ended it. Wofford had a chance to tie it. Cody Wells on the interception, deflected ball, and Coach Ayers said had they gotten the touchdown, they would have gone for 2.
I love that.
They would have gone for the win. And it, ironically enough, the same spot of the field. Basically what we're looking at right now is Wofford is trying to tie it with 6 and take the lead with an extra point. But it's going to be 3rd down and 3. That game got everybody's attention, not only around here, but nationwide. People that were scoreboard watching. And Steve Spurrier admitted after the game, said, hey, you know, we were lucky to win.
Yeah, and you don't, with what happened 2 years ago, you can't say that South Carolina was overlooking Wofford because everybody knew what Wofford can do. This is Wofford playing an outstanding football.
Exactly. There's no psychological excuses in this one. 3rd and 3, Whitmire. Lassoed down at the 20, a loss on the play. Jordan Lindsay read it all the way. A loss of 3. And the Terriers are going to go for a field goal.
Huge play there by Jordan Lindsay. And again, it's the assignments staying in your area, not getting sucked in on the fake handoff there. Able to stay where he needs to be. Comes up with a big play. A little bit longer field goal now from the right hash mark.
Mugen missed from 37, made from 25. And this will be 36. His season long is 38. From the hash. The kick is up. And it sneaks in. 16-13 our score. 7:50 remaining. Gamecocks up by 3. Chris Culliver back to return for Carolina. Gamecocks going to try to add a little insurance to a very tenuous 3-point lead as Culliver gets it after the 30-yard line. A return of 23 yards by the sophomore.
Like the way this game is going, just have a feeling whoever touches the ball last is going to have an opportunity to win the football game. The Gamecocks, of course, would like to start trading 3s for some 6s and 7 as opposed to going for the field goal each time. Gamecocks need to put some distance between the Terriers. The Terriers hanging in there, being tough once the Gamecocks get into the red zone.
Well, the whole notion of getting a big lead at the half and playing experimenting with stuff, that's out the window. Now you do whatever you have to win this game, because if you don't, it's going to be a very long week. Next week, the Gamecocks will take on UAB, of course. Here's Mo Brown, receiver screen. Mo Brown trying to make something out of nothing. And a good effort just to get 4 yards out of that play, as Wofford has read that play pretty much all night long, right?
Yeah, and again, the Gamecocks use that play a lot on first down. We've seen it early in the game. We saw it at the start of the second half. And Deion LaCorn at least has to get a block on somebody there. There was 2 defenders. He missed both of them. Mo Brown didn't have a chance, still able to pick up 4 yards on the play.
This Wofford secondary, which was the concern for the Terriers, they really hadn't been tested downfield a whole lot, and when they have, they've responded pretty well. Here's Cook, the money man, and it's through his hands. The ball was high by Chris Smelly. Smelly's had problems on that particular play, whether it's Saunders or Cook, just throwing it high.
And the Gamecocks and Chris Smelly usually looking for the big tight ends. They're the 2 biggest targets. Have been unable to hit that successfully, consistently tonight. But again, that always seems to be his first read, is finding where Jared Cook is on the field.
So that sets up a 3rd and 6. Smelly 20 out of 30. Needs a big completion here. Oh, he had Cook open. Now he finds it, but that's going to be shy of the marker. Going to be shy by a yard.
And Jared Cook has to know where he is on the field. When he makes that turn running his route, he's got to make sure he's past the yardstick there to pick up the first down. He kind of left his quarterback hanging there. Smelly had plenty of times. The Terriers only rushed 3 on the play, but Cook's got to get past the first down marker when he runs his route.
Now, ordinarily, you wouldn't even think about it. In this spot, you have the lead. You have about 6.5 minutes to go, but you feel like you certainly should be able to get what amounts to less than a yard with a much bigger offensive line. Smelly likes the keeper, gets it here, dives forward, and that is big.
And moves the sticks once again. Gamecocks obviously would like to get some more points, but they want to keep that clock moving and not give the Terriers a chance to get that offense back on the field. Gets a good push up front to Smelly as you take a look at it again. This goes right off the left cheek of his center, Garrett Anderson. And Gamecocks pick up the first down.
Which cheek is that, Brad? 1st and 10. Here's Davis. Trying to pick up some yards between the tackles. Picks up 4. Meet Paul, the tackle.
Garrett Anderson, the center, one of the bigger offensive linemen for the Gamecocks, over 300 pounds. He's been the mainstay at center this season for the Gamecocks. Played guard last year.
Gamecocks going to try to march down the field here, milk some clock. Second and 6. It's Davis, big hole, and Davis into Wofford territory and down at the 44-yard line. 11 yards on that scamper.
Well, Mike Davis gets the big play there for the Gamecocks. They've been shuffling in 3 different running backs here tonight, and Gamecocks have been able to pick up short chunks of yards. They haven't had the one big breaker so far. Again, using Davis and Baker and Maddox. You take a look at it here. DeMarco, the fullback, it's a good block there. Pancake block, buries the defender. That opens things up for Mike Davis. DeMarco, an unsung hero for the Gamecocks, as that lead blocker.
First down and 10. Davis in the eye. Smelly feeds him. Again, room on the left side. Davis. First down yardage and then some. That'll move the chains some more.
Mike Davis running hard. You don't think he's taking some heat or put some heat on himself this week after fumbling last week against Georgia in the end zone. You take a look here. He wants to put this game away by himself. Gets a nice hole on the left side. Tight end gives a nice block to him. Picks up another big first down for the Gamecocks as they're moving the sticks on the ground.
Davis gets a breather on the sideline. Maddox checks in. Gamecocks sticking to the ground game on this drive. Here's Maddox putting that shoulder down and putting it right in the chest of one of the Terrier linebackers there. Another good gain for the Gamecocks on first down.
Well, we've seen this a couple of times out of Brian Maddox tonight, where the hole looks like it's going to start off to the left. He's able to read it, counters to the right, picks up a big gain. The hole's not there initially, but is able to pick and choose and picks up a big gain.
We've seen a three-headed show here at tailback. Maddox now 11 carries, 52 yards. Baker 11 for 49. Mike Davis 7 for 46. Clock ticking down, under 4 minutes to go in this one. Here's Maddox, and that time nowhere to run. Wofford got some penetration. Sorensen got pushed back.
Looks like the Terriers going to burn a timeout here, try to stop that clock.
And that might be a good opportunity for Wofford to catch their breath as well. 3:25 to go. It's another long drive as the Gamecocks marching down the field, trying to get in the end zone, leading it 16-13 with 3:25 to play. Third down and 5 for the Gamecocks. Smelly looking to throw, fires complete. And that will be a first down, and a big one at that. Wesley Saunders Just a little sit-down route there, and Smelly hits him.
Does a good job of just getting to the first down marker.
This is actually Dion LaCorn, I beg your pardon.
Take a look at it here. He was about a 1 yard over the first down marker, something the Gamecocks didn't do a couple of plays before with Jared Cook. LaCorn knew right where he was. Good pass by Chris Smelly, and the clock continues to run for South Carolina.
Boy, that is so big. We'll never know if Spurrier would have gone for it on 4th down. But even if you get a field goal here, Wofford still has a chance to win it on what could be the final drive. 1st down and 10. Davis. Not much there.
This is where some clock management comes into play. So Smelly snapped the ball with about 1 second left on the play clock. We'll see if they do that every play.
Wofford only has 2 timeouts left. Again, the 42nd clock in college football. This is where it makes the biggest impact on a game, to be able to run that play clock down 40 seconds after every play. See the rushing balance tonight. We've seen Maddox, Baker, and Davis. Right now, Steve Spurrier electing to go with the senior. LaCorn in motion, 2nd down and 8. Here's Davis. Breaks the initial tackle and pushes forward. A gain of 4, so that'll set up a critical 3rd down. Wofford will likely call a timeout here and set up what could be the play of the game. Gamecocks leading at 16-13, and Brad Muller, again, this is not what any of us expected out of the Gamecock offense, but now you just got to press on, move ahead. Don't worry about the fact that it didn't come the way you wanted it to. It's been a little bit more difficult. You got to see if you can go ahead and continue this drive. Otherwise, Wofford will have a chance to win it.
Right, got to finish the drive. They've been moving the football well between the 20s all night. Just don't have a lot to show for it. Got to pick up another big 3rd down here.
So here we go, 3rd down and 5. Wofford with a 4-man front. Smelly, play action, looking left side, throws, complete, touchdown. Dion LaCorn. Gutsy play there, 17-yard score. The Gamecocks stretch the lead. It's 22-13.
2nd touchdown of the year for Dion LaCorn, the sophomore, the 5th of his career. You're right, a gutsy call. You thought the Gamecocks might do something safe, a little conservative to at least keep the clock running. They go to the end zone. Pretty good throw and a better catch by Dion LaCorn. He only stands 5'11", had to go up and get it.
That giant exhale you hear is from Gamecock fans across America, as the extra point by Ryan Suckup is good. It looks to be another Gamecock victory with 1:58 to go. Chris Smelly with his first touchdown pass of the night.
We take a look here. Gets good protection, plenty of time, throws a strike. LaCorn goes up and gets it. Not bad coverage, but again, I think they caught the Terriers by surprise.
Dion LaCorn, 2nd touchdown of the year. The sophomore out of Ocala, Florida. Now a 10-point lead, and Wofford has to score fast and then get an onside kick. And that made me think he's relieved. That face speaks volumes. 13 plays, another long drive in this game. 70 yards, 5 minutes, 52 seconds off the clock. And a 17-yard connection from Smelly to Dion LaCorn.
Well, if you're watching film of this game, you're going to sit there and go, wow, we're really moving the ball well all night. If you're Coach Steve Spurrier and the offensive coaches and think, boy, we're doing a great job. And finally, the Gamecocks were able to finish the drive with a touchdown instead of a field goal attempt. But again, a great effort tonight by the Wofford Terriers. Be interesting to see what they do the rest of the season. They've got a big game coming up at Georgia Southern.
Yeah, they were picked 3rd in the Southern Conference behind Elon, number 2, and of course Appalachian State, everybody's favorite every year, as they can just continue to rack up national championships over there in the 1AA bracket. But this Wofford team certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Southern Conference all year long, and regardless of how this game turns out, they'll be very proud of the effort tonight, I'm sure. Meanwhile, the talk on the other side will be just when is this Gamecock offense going to kick into high gear? We haven't seen it yet. There were some encouraging things that happened tonight. I think Eric Baker certainly made a statement tonight. That is the Southern Conference record for the Terriers here recently, and only Appalachian State's been better. And The Southern Conference is kind of like the SEC of 1AA football. There's so much talent in that league, and Mike Ayers has certainly had his fair share of success in that conference.
And Appalachian State, of course, opening up the eyes of the world last year with their big win at Michigan.
People forget it was Wofford that actually won the conference crown.
Right.
Even though Appalachian State went on to win the national title. Kickoff is fielded at the 7. And down to the 19-yard line is Mike Rucker. So a minute 55 to go in this one. Chris Hale was on the tackle for the Gamecocks.
But again, this is not the style of offense now that the Terriers want to play. Catch up from behind with less than 2 minutes to play. Not a throwing team. Only 17 passing attempts coming into tonight's game. So not a quick strike offense in the passing game, or at least they haven't shown it yet. That's not their modus operandi.
First down and 10. And pass complete. Widmeyer going toward the sideline, right near the marker. They'll say just past the marker, so a 1st and 10. Minute 45 now remaining.
Well, the Gamecocks might get a little softer on the coverage now. Wofford with only 1 timeout and less than 2 minutes to play. Can't get too soft. Don't want to give up the big play.
Widmeyer throws high that time for Andy Strickland, who caught the last pass. I'll tell you what, Ben Widmeyer's been impressive overall here tonight. A 50-yard touchdown run. He's completed some big passes as well.
And made the big play with his feet, had the long run in the first half. And with this managing this offense is difficult because you have to make so many decisions on every play. Whether to keep it, every running play is pretty much an option. Am I going to keep it? Am I going to give it to the fullback? Am I going to pitch it? And so much responsibility. He handles it very well.
2nd and 10. Short drop. Now rolling out left. And going to throw that one away.
Good pressure again by Clifton Gaithers, a sophomore from Georgetown, South Carolina, coming up the middle. The Gamecocks only rushing about 3 there, but still able to get some pressure on the football, and Widmeyer has to throw it away.
Byron McKnight also getting through there and putting some heat on Widmeyer. 3rd down and 10. No doubt 2-down territory for Wofford here. Third down conversions. Wofford 7 of 14. Make it 7 of 15 as Romero is going to be well short. Darian Stewart wraps him up, and that'll set up a 4th down. And if you're Wofford, you have to have it.
We'll give the Terriers a lot of credit, too. They do a good job of holding on to the football. They're not going to turn it over a lot. I think they only had a couple of turnovers coming into tonight's game, so they do a good job of taking care of the ball.
Out of the gun, Widmeyer on 4th and 5. Going to continue to look downfield. Just slings it and incomplete, and that ought to do it. Gamecocks will take over on downs, and Carolina can just run out the clock here. And the Gamecocks will improve to 2-2 on the year. 3-0 against Wofford this decade.
And more importantly, it gets them off the schneid after losing a couple of conference games back-to-back. A little bit of confidence again with what the offense was doing. The defense has to have confidence as well. Again, you hold a very potent running attack to just 13 points. Bend but don't break. You gave up some yards. There was 2 big plays, and I'm sure there were concern for Ellis Johnson, the defensive coordinator for the Gamecocks, but you kept him out of the end zone again. It's 2 straight weeks. The defense has done a good job, not pitching a shutout, but 14 points or less.
Gamecock offense marching out onto the field. And I would imagine here, a couple of knees. Get in victory formation. And that's going to be an illegal substitution. You had a guy running out late.
Substitution violation on the offense. 12 men in the formation. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Incidentally, that you saw the guy running on the field. That's not Cliff Matthews, 93. That's actually Travian Robertson. The reason he's changing his number on offense, he has to have a tight end number in order to play that position. He's very often a 3rd or 4th tight end, and but that's who was guilty there. It was Travian Robertson. Here's Mike Davis tripped up in the backfield.
Gamecocks will continue the homestand, of course, next week with visiting UAB, the last tune-up before they revisit SEC play. Gamecocks trying to get back there. Looks like they're going to get back to 500 here, and that's the good news, but still some work to do. And Wofford Terriers now with a big game, as we said, with Georgia Southern
And, of course, UAB will have that for you on pay-per-view as well. And we'll join you live here from Williams-Brice Stadium on that one. After that, it's back out onto the road, Oxford, Mississippi, and no doubt that will be a big one. Well, it was a little bit too close for comfort if you're Carolina, but a win is a win, as the Gamecocks will improve to 2-2. A valiant effort by the Wofford.